from China's perspective, the situation was really sort of created by Japan. Both sides have been content to sort of look the other way over these islands for the past few decades, really, apart from a few spats here and there. But when Japan announced unilaterally that it was going to nationalize the islands, that really forced China's hand. You know, it didn't have any option but to respond, all face looking weak. Of course, you know, that's not an option, especially as we approach this new leadership, Chinese leadership taking over. There's been a strong suspicion all the way through these protests that they were government organized, government sponsored. You know, various people in Beijing received text messages promising them a little bit of money and a packed lunch if they would show up to the protests. We've seen some policemen have been identified taking part in the protests. It does seem to be something which was at least sanctioned by the government for the past few days over the weekend, and which now, you know, the authorities have said, you know, well, it's time to stop all of this. I think it's worth noting that when the Japanese shut down their factories, they gave a strict timeline for how long they would be shut for, which is an indication that some sort of deal was done with the local authorities. You know, if you shut down for 2 days, then you can reopen afterwards, and you know there won't be any protests. Japan is the one country that China can confront in the region. You know, if it gets too aggressive against any other country in Asia, then it looks like China's throwing its weight around and bullying them. But of course, China and Japan have such a long history of military conflict, and you know, and that it just looks like a rebalancing of historic wrongs. We have elections coming up. Well, I mean, not in China, but we have leadership change in China. We've got elections in Japan. You know, this is exactly the sort of thing that gets people going.